Hello everyone. Today, let us nourish the mind with wisdom, enriching the formless, empty, clear and pure life element within us. This is the knowledge we must come to know, what I call the science of knowing the mind. It is a kind of knowledge we have never heard before. From the moment we were born, no parent or teacher has ever told us, "You are the mind, the life element. Everything else is not you." Instead, everyone has taught us to think, to remember, to believe that we are human beings, with names and surnames, rules and regulations. We were taught to hold on to everything as me and mine, to struggle for survival, to earn a living. We believe that this body is ours. Parents and teachers alike have taught us to believe this body belongs to us. This is the kind of knowledge the world teaches. We may study all the way to a doctoral degree, but none of this learning can free us from suffering. The knowledge of knowing the mind is simple. If we truly understand it, we will never suffer again. If we contemplate it, wisdom will arise. I am simply guiding you to study the science of knowing the mind, so that wisdom may arise in you, so that you will never again return to suffering. Let us share this Dhamma with everyone in the world, children, the elderly, people with disabilities, women and men, people of every gender, age, belief, religion, and ethnicity. Everyone can hear it. Giving the knowledge that leads to complete and lasting freedom from suffering, this is the greatest knowledge of all. It is the highest and most noble gift, the supreme blessing. Now, let us return to our conversation. We will be freed from suffering entirely by knowing the true origin of what we are and why we have come to dwell in this vessel, this body. Have you ever asked your own heart why you must reside in this body? The reason I speak only of the knowledge of knowing the mind is because I have exhausted all doubt. There is nothing more for me to do or to seek. I once strove to find freedom from suffering, until one day I awakened to the truth that we are the mind, the life element, empty, clear, and pure. On the day I realized this, every notion I had ever held about being human collapsed entirely. This body dissolved to the finest particles, the inner voice, mental images, emotions, sensations, memory. These all shattered and vanished from the heart. What remained was vast, pristine emptiness, a formless life element merging into the entire infinite cosmos, blending into the very fabric of emptiness itself, the same emptiness that is before us now. It became one with all things. We are the original element. I came to see the truth that we are the element that never moves. This nature does not shift. It does not come or go. It is beyond time and distance. It never arises, and it will never dissolve. This nature is the immortal element, the source of all conditioned elements, whether material or energetic. All of these arise from the original element. This is our true identity. This is the real life element that we are. The nature of self has 3 layers. We must understand this well. Write it down and put it somewhere in your home as a reminder. If you truly understand it, you will not suffer. These 3 layers of self are what we have been deluded by. The outermost layer of self is this body. I will speak in worldly terms first, so it is clear to human understanding. We have been led to believe that this body is our body. I once believed this myself, that I was truly a man or truly a woman, that I had a name, a surname, real parents, and a real family, that this was truly my body, my home, my car, my possessions. I held this belief because it was what I had been taught since birth. Think back to when we were first born. We had no idea this was the human world. At birth, we simply knew in an empty way, without knowing this was our body, without knowing who was playing with us, without knowing this was the human world, or even knowing what anything was. There was only not knowing. That is the starting point. As we were taught over the years, we came to accept that we are truly human beings, until the day I awakened to the mind and understood that we are not human at all. We have never truly been born into this world. Returning to this outermost layer, the layer of the body, imagine it like a piece of fruit. We mistakenly think we are the peel, the outer skin. Like the skin of an avocado, smooth and attractive, so we take great care of it. In the same way, we believe this body is who we are, so we tend to it, decorate it, feed it, and clothe it to keep it looking beautiful, just like polishing the avocado's peel. But this body will one day break apart. It cannot last long. If you follow me carefully, I say this body will not last long at all. Imagine it will last only one more day, just today. Tomorrow it will stop functioning. Then what will you do? Where will you go next? And what are you truly? This body is born only to decay and die. That is its sole purpose. No matter how well you feed it, it will die. No matter how high your education, the body will die. No matter how much wealth, status, praise, or influence you acquire, the body will die. When it dies, where is the self? The body will be burned, reduced to ashes, gathered into a bag and tied up. Here, this is your body. One bag of ashes. Then what will you say? Where is your body now? Once you understand that the peel is not you and see that this body is not you, you will have understood the outermost layer of self. We have been deluded into thinking this is our body, when in truth we are merely dwelling in it. We are the mind, the formless, empty, clear, and pure life element. We have come to inhabit this body so that experiences can arise, so that we may see and understand that we are the pure element, the mind. Yet we have never truly known the mind, never studied the knowledge of awakening to it. So we remain entangled, fighting, killing, and destroying one another to seize land, water, air, fire, and even each other's bodies. But the land belongs to the earth, so why fight over it at all? Water and all the resources on this planet belong to the planet itself. Why do we fight over them? Why do we kill and destroy for food? We create paper and call it money, then struggle, compete, and even kill for that paper. And what is it used for? To buy food. Is that all? Is this what life is about? Is this all we can teach each other? Then we say, this is my body, this belongs to me. But where, what is truly ours? This world belongs to the world. How could it belong to anyone? This body belongs to the world as well. Soon it will die. Are we not just borrowing it? If we can see that this is not our body, that we are only borrowing it, then the feeling of I and mine will dissolve. We will naturally share, help, and support one another because we will see that nothing is truly ours. This body needs only one simple meal a day to live. That is enough to sustain life. We could then live together in peace and harmony, sharing and helping each other, and our conversations and teachings would be only about the knowledge of awakening to the mind. Imagine if everyone in this world spoke only about the mind, about the knowledge of awakening to the mind. If everyone listened to the talks I have shared on the Panya Vimutti channel, if my talks were shared so that everyone on this planet could hear them, people's hearts would begin to awaken in wonder. Everyone would begin to recognize the mind as the empty, clear, and pure life element. Each person would become as I have become. The feeling of being a human would shatter completely from the heart, leaving only emptiness, clear, pure, and merged with the infinite universe. Vastly open, incredibly light, with no trace of suffering remaining. We would know with all our heart that we are this radiant, pure element. Wherever it may appear, within this pure element, there is no voice, no image, no emotion, no knowing, no movement, no fabrication, no coming and going, no birth, and no dissolution. It is nothing at all. This is the immortal element, just as it is. It is free from all fabrication. When we touch this, we will know that our only wish in living on this planet is to help it, to share this truth so that everyone can awaken to the mind. We will be free from suffering forever, just as I am now, fully and completely. Some of my students, after listening to just one talk in just one day, have suddenly burst open with realization. Tears flowed as they cried, because the sense of self was gone. They had become the empty, clear, pure element, and it has remained that way ever since. While speaking, there is no sense of speaking at all. There is no feeling of, I am speaking right now. It is not even seen as a voice. There is no ownership of the act of knowing at this moment. It is simply nature functioning on its own. There is no me within these natural processes. We are vast, radiant emptiness, pure and clear, formless life itself, embracing the entire elemental universe. This means the whole cosmos rests within us. Stars, suns, black holes, specks of dust, galaxies, everything in the infinite universe, all material elements, even darkness and light dwell within us. We are all of it. We encompass it completely. And in this, there is no arising. No matter what happens, it does not arise, because it is always present. This is how freedom from suffering manifests. We are not human, yet we come to believe we are human. The voice that speaks is not our voice. It functions on its own. We love to think so much that we stress ourselves, even to the point of illness. But do you see? The thoughts that speak in the mind, the inner voice, are not us speaking. Do not take ownership of it. It is nature doing its own work. It has no form, no self. And when there is no self, why should we drown in thought? Why should we sink into stress because of it? Thought has no self. Why be consumed by it? Thoughts, mental images, feelings of happiness, sorrow, neutrality, satisfaction, dissatisfaction, tranquility, all these are conditions of the mind. Even knowing itself, what we claim as I know, I remember, I feel, I imagine, I think, these are not who we are. This is the second layer of self. The first layer is the body. The body will break apart and die. It is not our body. This is the outermost layer. The body is not us, yet we cling to it as if it were. If we turn inward, remaining awake within, we will see clearly that it is not truly us. When the mind accepts this, there is an immense lightness and spaciousness. This is the release of the outer layer of self. The second layer is the realm of thought, imagination, feeling, and knowing. This is the layer of mental phenomena, the energy released from the mind, from the life element. These are the tools we constantly use. We use voice to speak, we use thoughts to communicate. The second layer of self is what we continually cling to. I am thinking, I am imagining, I am feeling happiness or sadness, I am knowing, I remember or forget, I understand. But this layer is the realm of fabrication, the realm of tools that are not us. They are merely conditions. They have no true self. They cannot be formed into a solid mass, nor can they be grasped. Voices, mental images, and emotions that are being known have no self at all. They are merely ripples arising from the pure element, like energy surging out from it. Yet we grasp these ripples as me. This is the second layer of self we hold on to. But I tell you, it is not us. The outer shell, the first layer, is not us, and the second layer is not us either. It is like an avocado. The skin is not us, and the flesh is not us. Peel the flesh away, give it to someone else, or eat it yourself. It doesn't matter. The true core of self is the seed. We are the mind, the empty, clear, pure life element, This is our true identity. Therefore, it can be said, this body is not us. This voice that speaks is not our voice. See clearly that it speaks on its own. When you see this, tears may fall, thoughts arise, inner speech flows, thinking this, saying that in the mind, continuously. Observe carefully and see that it thinks on its own, and the thoughts, the inner voice that speaks on its own, also have no self. Who can truly see that this voice has no form, no self? If it has no self, then why cling to it? We simply borrow this voice to communicate while living in this world, but it is not for us to cling to. It is just a natural function used in this human realm. Just like the body that works on its own, the heart beats on its own, the lungs draw in and release breath on their own, the liver and kidneys function on their own, the intestines and stomach work on their own. Every organ works without needing our command. Walking happens on its own, arms swing on their own, eyes close and blink on their own. Must we tell ourselves, blink now? Breathing happens by itself. In the same way, this voice is a natural phenomenon functioning by itself. Mental images arise and operate on their own, and this inner voice, the thought, is especially important to see clearly. Whether it becomes spoken words aloud or remains as silent inner speech, this thought, this voice in the mind, is speaking on its own. It is a natural process that keeps speaking in this way. It imagines on its own. It has emotions, pleasure or displeasure, tranquility, neutrality, on its own. It appears and dissolves on its own. Memory too remembers on its own, or fails to remember on its own. All of it is its own process entirely. Even the act of knowing happens on its own. It hears its own sounds. When a car passes, it hears the sound of the car by itself. When a smell arises, it senses that smell on its own. When an image strikes, it sees on its own. When food enters the mouth, it tastes on its own. When something touches the body, it feels it on its own, whether cold wind, hot wind, or solid matter pressing against it. It knows on its own, and it dissolves on its own. A pleasant feeling arises on its own, then where does it go when it fades? Where is it? A feeling of suffering arises, then disappears. Where does it go? Even the voice that is speaking now, see it, arises on its own and fades on its own. Every word arises and fades in each moment. All phenomena appear in the present and dissolve in the present, right now, continuously. Let us examine, where is this self we claim to be? And when we say, this is my body, there is only this voice speaking on its own all the time. Where is this voice? It cannot be grasped. It has no self. When it has no self, can we see that it is merely a ripple of sound waves, arising and dissolving? It keeps speaking on its own. Who can see this clearly? It is like waves in the sea. They are there all year, all life long, but the waves are not the water. If I say we are the substance of water, we are the mind, it means the mind is like the clear essence of water. The nature of water includes the presence of waves. Waves are just a surface phenomenon, an effect of the water's surface tension. They ripple all year, all life, but they are not the water itself. You cannot scoop up a wave. If you try, you will only find water. The wave does not truly exist. The ripple does not truly exist. It is merely a temporary appearance with no inherent existence. Who can understand this? This is the second layer of self we have clung to for so long. If we simply observe and see that the voice does not truly exist, that it is merely a frequency ripple, a surge of sound energy arising from the mind, used for communication, then we will see that it does not truly exist. We use these tools to learn that we are the mind, the life element. But instead of just using them, we have claimed them as our own. and so we have never truly known the mind at all. That is why I speak and explain the knowledge of awakening to the mind, so that you may see and know it for yourself. These 3 layers of self, if we simply see with certainty that this body is not us and release our clinging to it, and if we also see that the voice speaking is not our voice because it speaks on its own, thinks on its own, cannot be grasped, and is merely a tool to be used in the conventional world, then we begin to be free. Mental images are also just tools for use in this conventional world. Emotions such as pleasure, displeasure, neutrality, calm, happiness, or suffering are all tools for functioning in this world. They are not ours at all. They operate on their own. Memory and the act of knowing also work on their own. They remember or forget on their own. They are simply tools for use in this world. We need only set down these heavy burdens, not take ownership of them. Let them function as tools while we remain free from attachment. When we allow these tools to work without claiming them, we become free from all the stories of this world. All the knowledge we have gained from thinking and remembering will dissolve. Then a new realization will arise, that we are the formless life element, vast, empty, clear, and pure, embracing the infinite universe. Tears will fall as we behold the wonder of the mind in a way we never knew before. And no matter how wondrous it feels, do not cling to any identity in it. As you keep listening to me, you will feel lighter and more spacious. Those who hear will feel this lightness. The more you listen, the lighter and more open you will feel. It doesn't take long for the wise, but for those who are not yet wise, it may take more time. Still, keep listening. Eventually, the realization will burst forth. You will feel light and free. All doubt will fade away, and you will see clearly. Why have I been so foolish? I never should have suffered over anything, because nothing is truly me. I never should have been so ignorant as to suffer at all. Everything simply is as it is. But when we go to work, life becomes entangled. The ignorant, those who have not awakened to the mind, spend the commute home thinking about work, stressed. Upon arriving home, they keep thinking about work, stressed. They eat their meal, stressed. They sit with their family, stressed. They lie in bed, stressed. They can't sleep, and stress turns into illness, depression, migraines, bipolar disorder, acid reflux, stomach ailments, even cancer, all born from stress. The more we stress and play with thoughts, the more it is because we cling to the belief that thoughts are real, that they have a true self. We believe everything we think. We believe it completely. Everything in this world is born from what we ourselves imagine. Who can see that everything in this world exists only because we think it into being? Even the sense of self. We have thought it into existence, believing it to be me. But in truth, we are the mind, the life element, empty, clear, and pure, deep within. This is the true self, a self beyond language. In this formless life element, there is no voice, no image, no emotion, no memory, and no act of knowing. We can return to this pure element, our true home, only when we have set down the first 2 layers of self. This happens through knowing reality as it is, by seeing the truth that this body functions entirely on its own. It breathes on its own, digests food, sees, and works on its own. Every organ and every part functions by itself. It walks by itself, balances itself, moves by itself. The moment we see this, the grip begins to loosen. And when we see that happiness arises on its own, when things go as we think and imagine, happiness appears. When they don't, suffering appears. We also see that emotions arise on their own, dissolve on their own. One moment they are neutral, Another moment calm, then restless, pleased, displeased, happy or unhappy, and all of it fades on its own. Memory remembers or forgets on its own. It imagines this and that on its own. It thinks this and that on its own. There is an inner voice speaking on its own. We see that all these work by themselves. Even the act of knowing works on its own. It hears on its own, hears the bird singing on its own, hears the dog barking on its own, startles on its own, smells on its own, sees on its own, tastes on its own. Look closely. Whatever contacts us and brings about a feeling, that feeling arises on its own. There is no me at all. When we see clearly that there is no me anywhere, the mind, the life element, will release itself from relying on these tools. And when it is fully released, what remains? It is like this. If we erase the body, what remains? Erase happiness, suffering, neutrality, calm. What remains? Erase all mental images. What remains? Erase all memories. What remains? Erase all thoughts, all inner voices. What remains? Erase the act of knowing. What remains? Nothing remains except emptiness, clear and pure. This is the mind. This is the life element, the deathless element. We will return to this deathless element, the original source of our being, only when we stop clinging to any of these conditions, these fabrications that we have long used as tools. If we set them down by knowing them as they are, knowing sound when it contacts us, seeing that it hears on its own, smells on its own, with no me involved, seeing that speech speaks on its own, that the voice has no known location and cannot be grasped, seeing that mental images imagine on their own, that thought arises on its own. I'll go clean the bathroom, I'll go buy soap, toothpaste, something from the supermarket. We will know. It thinks on its own, with no me behind it. We must contemplate like this often, and listen to me often. Whoever listens often enough that my voice resounds in the mind, reminding them again and again, will begin to feel lighter and freer. The heavy weight of long-held doubt will loosen and fall away. The lightness and openness will deepen. Why does it feel lighter and freer? Because we are the mind, the life element that has no form. We have created these fabrications to wrap around ourselves, and so we have felt heavy. The more we think, the heavier and more stressed we become, until the heart grows hot, burning with restlessness, generating heat that scorches the body. We have drowned in our tools. These fabrications were created to serve one purpose, to help us learn that we are the pure element. They were not made for us to learn everything about this world. Everything in this world belongs to itself. Earth, water, fire, wind, trees, all material elements, they belong to the world. Even the body belongs to this world, born only to break apart. Even the world itself was born to break apart. Galaxies, the universe, they too were born only to break apart. Nothing will remain forever, but there is one nature that has never been anything at all, and that is the mind, the life element, empty, clear, and pure. We already have it. We are this mind, this life element. To be free from the world of fabrication, we must see that these fabrications are not us. They function on their own, and we do not cling to them. We see the voice speaking all the time, just as I see constantly that it is not my voice. We begin to sense that it thinks on its own, speaks on its own. It is not us. Then we begin to understand how foolish it has been to believe it. This voice says, that is a house, that is a car. But what is that thing really? It is only form, only an image, nothing more than something appearing for the mind to know. When an image is seen, thought arises to assign value and meaning. That is an apple tree, a pine tree, a coconut tree. That is an animal, a cat, a dog. That is a person. That is a car, a house. that is a weed. This voice gives value and meaning, and we flow along with it. But if we see that it is this very voice that assigns value and meaning to everything, where then is the self? Our memories, from birth until now, all the stories, the years of schooling, the countless friends and experiences, were they not all created by thought? Who can see that all of it is imagined? Everything comes into being because right now we think it. Whether we open our mouth to speak or speak silently in the mind, it all happens now. Even childhood arises from the voice in this very moment. The word childhood carries meaning within this voice. Even the word voice itself holds so much meaning, it could fill several pages of a book. We have relied on the meanings of words to take possession of and assign significance to everything. We have been swept away by the voice. What if we did not rely on the voice? What if we stopped thinking, stopped using the brain, and used only pure awareness, just feeling, just knowing, without adding thought or fabrication? We simply observe inwardly, awaken within, feel directly, receive something without putting it into words. When we do this, we will realize that there is only knowing, only the act of feeling and sensing. There is knowing all the time, but there is no language to say what it knows. Then we will understand, where is the self in all of this? And this knowing, who is it that knows? Observe carefully within, and I will point it out more clearly. In the very beginning, there was only the empty, clear, and pure element that has existed since the origin. This is the primal element, the source element. This pure emptiness is the original element, or you could call it our mind. Let's call it the universal element. The universal element is empty, clear, and pure, containing nothing at all. Then came the Big Bang. From a single point, immense energy burst forth, scattering into forms, stars, dust, countless particles. Our minds came forth from there. Within the pure original emptiness of the universal element, there are countless individual minds, each one of us, pervading everywhere, numberless, infinite. These minds wait for birth. The only thing they seek is to know that they are the pure element. The mind is already pure, but it cannot know itself as the pure element because it has no fabrication. Without any fabrication, how could it know? It is like this. If we have no mouth, we cannot speak. We must rely on someone with a mouth to speak for us. In the same way, the mind is a nature without voice, without image, without emotion, without the act of knowing, without memory. That is why it is called the pure element. It does not move. Our mind is a clear element that never moves. No coming, no going, no birth, no death, no darkness, no light. It pervades the infinite universe. There is no merit or sin, no good or evil, no wholesome or unwholesome states within it. It is utterly pure and wants nothing at all. The pure element only wants to know what it is. This is the life element. The only reason we do not know is because we are unaware that we are the pure element, just as we do not realize that we are the mind. We do not realize that we are the pure element. I will say it plainly. We are empty, clear, and pure, like the open space before us, intangible, inseparable from the universal element. We are this empty, clear, pure nature, utterly still, utterly calm, unmoving. Here there is nothing at all, and in this state we cannot know anything, not even that we are the pure element. But then, when an explosion occurs at a single point, the Big Bang, energy bursts outward, forming particles which gather into stars. At that moment, waves of energy stream forth and material elements begin to take shape. These forms penetrate into the fabric of pure emptiness. Darkness arises here, light arises here. And when light passes into the pure emptiness begins to take possession, thinking it is the light. Imagine a crystal clear sphere, perfectly round, transparent, luminous. This is our mind. This clear element is already one with the vast emptiness of the universal element. Now, when light passes into this clarity, it becomes entirely bright. But this pure clarity is not the light. When the light fades and darkness passes into it, the clarity merges with that darkness, becoming entirely covered. Whenever such phenomena pass through our pure element, we are affected. We are compelled to learn. Certain causes and conditions pass through the substance of the pure element, and so the pure element begins to generate responses, to create appearances for the sake of learning about these phenomena, and also to come to know itself. This is the beginning. When contact occurs, an effect is produced. The phenomenon of knowing arises. The empty, clear, pure element, which is our life element, creates a bubble, a mist-like veil of fabrication to enclose itself like an atmosphere around a planet. I call this a bubble so that we can speak of it in human terms. We, the empty, clear, pure element, have created a bubble around ourselves. This is the subtle body. We have formed an energetic envelope around ourselves, and now, when something contacts the bubble, it can receive and register that contact. Every time something touches the bubble, there is an effect, a ripple, a reverberation that becomes an act of knowing. At this point, we begin to separate. From being pure emptiness, inseparable from the universal emptiness, we become enclosed in the bubble of fabrication, separated from the original universal emptiness. Now we have a form, not a physical body, but a distinct something. The subtle body takes shape, a form born of fabrication, capable of movement. With movement comes time, with distance, measurement, with form, the sense of self. The I begins here. This is not yet a gross physical form, but it is already a distinct entity, a subtle body shaped by fabrication, by the act of knowing. This subtle form begins to drift, attaching itself to material vessels. When stars are born, when cosmic dust forms, our minds begin to cling to fragments of that dust, giving rise to single-celled organisms, then two-celled, then three-celled life. Through consuming and being consumed, these forms evolve. We begin to believe we are these creatures. We become identified with them. The bubble, the subtle body, remains wrapped around us, enclosing the pure element within. We, the empty, clear, pure element, came to inhabit the vessel of a physical body made of material elements, first in the bodies of animals, for at that time humans did not yet exist. We lived within the bodies of animals, and those bodies became another layer enclosing us. This is why I say there are three levels of self. The outer layer is the physical body, which we mistakenly cling to as me. The second layer is the subtle body, the realm of thoughts, imaginings, emotions, and knowing, another level of identity we mistakenly hold to, just as we did in the very beginning. But in truth, it is not us. If we see that the body is not us, and that thought, imagination, emotion, and knowing are not us, that they are merely tools we created for learning, then, when we truly see they function on their own, the bubble will burst. We will become emptiness once more, merging with the infinite universe. This is our return home. This is the knowledge we seek, that we are empty, clear, and pure, the formless life element. We have built layers of fabrication around ourselves, voices, mental images, emotions, acts of knowing, memories, all wrapped around us so that we could use them as tools for constant interaction, learning, and movement. Then we take up a vessel, a physical body. Now you can understand our origin and our journey. When this body breaks apart, what will remain is us and the subtle body bubble around us. We will drift in search of a new vessel. When that vessel dies, we drift again in search of another. Each time we take a new body, we ripple with new learning. The life of creatures in the water, on land, in the air, underground. We experience it all, but none of this knowledge ever leads to knowing the mind itself. Only when we take a human body, the finest vessel, the only one that can lead to awakening to the mind, do we have that chance. And yet, most of us still do not know the mind. It is deeply saddening. Parents, relatives, teachers, elders, no one in this world teaches the knowledge of awakening to the mind. And so, we live no differently from animals, born only to seek food, to survive, and then to die. Taking another body, seeking food, dying again, over and over. Birth, death, birth, death. Coming into the world only to age, to sicken, to die. Born and dying in vain, gaining nothing at all. If we do not learn the knowledge of awakening to the mind, we will never escape this cycle. We will never be free from suffering. We believe that suffering has a real, solid existence, and so we sink into the emotion of suffering. We believe that happiness truly exists, and so we sink into the emotion of happiness. But whether emotion is pleasant or unpleasant, it is still just emotion, an activity of the mind, a tool, a bubble surrounding us. We have created these things to enclose ourselves, and then we sink into them, forgetting that emotion has no owner, no form, no self. It is simply a condition that arises and passes away on its own. Don't care about it. Don't give it importance. If we stop caring, stop giving it attention, and stop playing with thought, let thought think on its own. Let mental images appear and fade on their own. Let emotions do their work. Let knowing, memory, and perception perform their functions. Do not cling to them. All that's needed is understanding, seeing that none of these are us. They function on their own. They speak on their own, constantly. Where is the me in that? They imagine on their own. Where is the me in that? They have satisfaction, dissatisfaction, neutrality, calm, all by themselves. Where is the me in that? The one who knows, the one who remembers. Memory recalls on its own, forgets on its own, knows on its own. Smelling happens on its own, seeing happens on its own, tasting happens on its own, hearing happens on its own, touching happens on its own. Where is the me in all this? Observe here. Ask yourself often, right here. When you do, you will find it very easy to awaken. You will quickly become clear about the mind, about the life element that is empty, clear, and pure. This pure emptiness has created layers of fabrication to cover itself, like a bubble, and then drifted into a body, mistakenly clinging to the belief that I am human. But in truth, we have never been born into this world. We cannot be human. The mind, the life element, this is us, is a formless, empty, pure element. We only come to borrow this vessel to learn that we are the pure element. We are not human. It is like a pure, pristine nature, a completely untainted, original element. But without tools, it cannot operate. So we create tools, thought, imagination, emotion, and knowing, wrapping ourselves in them. This becomes the subtle body. With the subtle body, we then seek a coarse body to inhabit in order to fabricate and learn. We only borrow it, knowing full well that it will not last long. Some animals live only a day, some 7 days, some a month. It doesn't matter. None of them last long. Time is short. Our lives grow shorter with every passing moment. If we still do not learn the knowledge of awakening to the mind, if we still do not know the mind, then we will be born endlessly, never stopping, born only to die in vain, utterly without worth. Let us not live in worthlessness. We are the empty, clear, pure element, now dwelling in two vessels, the vessel of fabrication and the vessel of the physical body. That is why I say, this body is not us. Do not cling to it as me. We have never truly been born into this world. Countless individual minds have come to inhabit different vessels. We then form attachments. This is my child. But that is simply another mind, just like ours. These are my parents. Again, simply other minds the same as ours. Parents, children, grandchildren, relatives, ancestors, friends, neighbors, fellow villagers, fellow citizens, fellow humans. We assign these labels and meanings, and that is fine for living in society. But deep inside, we must know we are not human. We have never truly been born here. We are the formless, clear, pure life element. We must keep reminding ourselves of this truth. Otherwise, we will sink back into ignorance and continue being born endlessly. Simply listen to me often. Let my voice be the constant reminder. Or remind yourself often, I am not the body. Even the word I is only a voice. That voice is not us. Right now, we are clinging in delusion. We are relying on fabrications. Here is another example to help you understand. We are like a wealthy billionaire sitting inside a car, unable to move, paralyzed. Our only function is to know. We can only receive information. We cannot do anything else. So, to learn about the world, we must hire a driver to act on our behalf. We live inside the car. Before getting into the car, we had this attendant who handled everything for us, spoke for us, thought for us, felt emotions for us, remembered for us, perceived everything for us. This attendant performs all functions on our behalf. Then he brings us into the car saying, I'll take you to learn everything there is to learn. He speaks for us because we cannot speak. We are paralyzed, only able to know, and that is enough. But this attendant ends up teaching us everything. And so we sit in the car, being taken wherever he drives us. Now, when we sit in this car, we must remember the car is not ours, and the attendant working on our behalf is not us either. The car represents our body. The attendant represents fabrication, the processes of thinking, imagining, feeling, remembering, and knowing. This attendant speaks for us, imagines for us, feels happiness, sadness, satisfaction, dissatisfaction, neutrality, or calm for us. He remembers, sometimes correctly, sometimes not, for us. He perceives everything for us. This driver attendant is fabrication itself. The car is like the body, and we ourselves are the mind, the life element, empty, clear, and pure, the true sovereign. Once we hire this attendant of fabrication, he works on our behalf, doing everything to help us learn about the world. He drives the car and says, Now I'll take you to America, a place where everyone who arrives will find freedom from suffering and great prosperity. So he takes us on the journey. Along the way, he must keep refueling because the car needs food. In other words, it needs fuel to run, liquids to sustain it. As the car is driven, fuel must constantly be added. The car must be cleaned and maintained. The attendant handles all of this. Without the attendant, the car could not move. It would be lifeless, like a corpse. But with the attendant, the car can move, can have life. It's like this body. If there is no mind combined with fabrication to direct it, the body is dead. It cannot live on its own. When the car breaks down, we get a new one, just like changing bodies. We may get the body of a water creature, a land animal, a bird, or a creature underground. We've had countless cars in countless forms. Each time the driver attendant, fabrication, tells us, now that body has died, let's go find a new car. This has been the way it is for as long as we can remember. And we may wonder, when will you stop finding new cars for me? When will you stop working for me so I can finally be at peace? So I don't have to travel with you anymore. Yet the driver keeps working. The attendant of emotion keeps doing everything for the mind. The mind is the most powerful. yet it is mute, disabled, so it allows the emotional attendant and the fabricating attendant to take it everywhere, to learn everything. While driving, this attendant talks constantly. He is always thinking. Fabrication keeps thinking, I'm so stressed today. I'm bored. It's hot. I feel uncomfortable. I'm too lazy to drive. I have to drive again today. He keeps thinking, keeps imagining, and keeps reporting everything to the mind. The mind simply receives it all. It does nothing itself, because it cannot speak. It only learns everything through the attendant of fabrication. The attendant of fabrication begins to realize, this car we've been using, after changing it countless times, it's not truly ours, boss. We've only been borrowing it. You have to understand, boss. You are not the owner of this car. We're only using it temporarily, and before long, we'll have to change it again. We've changed it millions of times already. Boss, do you know when we'll finally stop riding in cars altogether? Let's make a vow right now. Let's not ride in a car ever again. Let's return home. From now on, you must not sit in a car anymore. As long as you still want to ride in a car, I'll keep working for you. It's like how we rely on the voice. This voice speaks constantly, but we are the empty, clear, pure element, silent, unmoving, utterly pure. We created a bubble around ourselves, which acts as the attendant of fabrication. But we are not the bubble, we are emptiness itself. Whenever we truly see that the attendant of fabrication, this bubble is not us, the bubble will burst. After creating this tool, this bubble, to enclose ourselves, we then inhabit a body to enclose ourselves further, like sitting in a car. The attendant of fabrication acts as the driver, working on our behalf, and this attendant says to the boss, I think we shouldn't live in this car anymore. Enough is enough. Let's use this one for the last time, okay, boss? It's not really ours. As long as we keep driving it like this, it will always be troublesome. Better to stop driving. Let's make this the last car we ever use. Until the day this world collapses, I have explained everything to you, boss. That this body is not us. And when you truly see that this body is not us, you will never have to live in a car again. The attendant of fabrication is now preparing to teach the mind. This attendant has gained new understanding from fellow companions, from conversations about how to finally stop working so the boss can rest forever, never having to endure hardship again. This attendant has learned from the wise, from listening often to my Dhamma talks. And so he begins to teach the boss, Boss, do you know you've been relying on me for a very long time? When will you stop depending on me? If you no longer depend on me, you'll be at ease. You won't have to be tangled up with me anymore. You'll live in a home of peace and calm. Now, I will take you back home. Remember this, the voice you've been hearing all this time, it's mine, not yours. Don't think that everything I've said belongs to you. This voice is something I created to tell you. Do not cling to my voice. Don't cling to the mental images I've shown you. No matter how I describe or report them, don't cling to my words. I am just the one narrating, reporting for you. I will take you to see everything, to learn about everything, but don't hold on to anything at all. I am merely a guide and a driver, both your guide and your driver. I will take you everywhere to learn, but this voice, do not cling to it. All the mental images I lead you to see, do not cling to them. And my emotions, whether good or bad, whether anger, calm, neutrality or joy, do not cling to them either. Because I am the attendant of fabrication, if you stop clinging, then it will all end here. Otherwise, you'll keep depending on me, keep riding in the car without end. Boss, you can stop now, you can rest now. The boss is the supreme billionaire, completely free from all suffering, yet has chosen to rely on me. And so I've been endlessly busy taking care of the boss in this way. Boss, do not cling to my voice. Do not cling to the images I create for you to see. Do not cling to my emotions. Do not cling to my memories. Sometimes I remember, sometimes I forget. This is simply my nature. Right now, I am taking you to experience and perceive all kinds of things. Know clearly, this is how it is. The world is like this. I am like this. My role is to experience everything in your place and report it to you. Please understand deeply. Do not cling to me. I am only the attendant of fabrication. I'm tired. I want to rest. All I ask is that you stop relying on me. See me as just someone who performs the work of fabrication. When you are indifferent to me, when you no longer cling to me, when you no longer cling to this car, then you will instantly be free from me, from this car, and you will never again have to travel endlessly through this world. This world is only what it is. The car falls apart in its own time. I keep thinking this and that, imagining this and that, feeling various emotions, knowing countless stories, remembering some, forgetting others. That is simply how I am. Boss, do not cling to me in any way. I am the attendant of fabrication. I am not you, and you are not me. We are two different things. You can rest now. You can return home. Do you understand this? We have been relying on the tools of fabrication, this body, this voice, these images, emotions, acts of knowing, and memories, all of which we created to use temporarily, not for eternity. We use these tools only to realize that we are the life element, empty, clear, pure. In this pure element, there is nothing at all. To return to it, we simply stop clinging to the voice we've relied on all along. This voice has no real self. It is only a condition. Mental images are only conditions. Emotions are only conditions. Knowing and memory are only conditions, arising from the pure element. We need only see them as they are, tools, each with its own nature. See clearly, they think on their own, imagine on their own, feel emotions on their own, appear and dissolve on their own. Sometimes they know, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they are quick to know, sometimes slow. They are simply what they are. Do not try to train or force anything at all. Just listen to me often. Incline the mind toward this seeing, and you will suffer no more. It is now time to bring this to a close. May all of you who have inclined your minds to listen realize your own empty, clear, pure life element swiftly and directly, every one of you. If you're interested in these teachings on awakening, mind observation, and transcending suffering through wisdom, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Share your insights in the comments, provide productive feedback, and if you find this content valuable, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel.